So Ryan Garcia beats Haney, but he is not the champion. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to On Me Edson. I hope you're well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So the big fight of the weekend, Devon Haney against Ryan Garcia. And it turned out to be quite a decent fight. It was a bit of to and fro-in. Haney had a couple of rounds here and there, but let's face it, all the spoils go to Ryan Garcia for the way he fought. He surprised everybody. All the kind of nonsense that he's been speaking about for the last few weeks and months, let's say, I'm not really sure that it was all smoke and mirrors, I've got to say, but at the same time, he delivered in the ring. He knocked down Haney, 3 or 4 times, whatever it was. And he was just convincing. It was a convincing win. Yeah, he won by a majority decision, but 2 judges had him clearly winning. Was it 115-1-9 and 114-110, I think it was. And the other judge scored, was it 112 each? So listen, I thought it was a convincing win. Where does he go from here, Ryan Garcia? Where does Devon Haney go from here? Now, because Ryan Garcia, quite ashamedly, really, he didn't make weight. I mean, he came in at 143.5, I think it was, whereas Devon Haney came in at 140 on the button, maybe just a smidge over. Devon Haney did what he had to do. Ryan Garcia obviously came in, he just didn't make weight. So obviously there's a penalty there. And I wasn't sure which way it was going to go, what agreement was going to make, but basically they just dropped the title contention here. So I believe I'm right in here, is that Devon Haney is still the champion because the title wasn't on the line, but he's got rid of that O on his record, and now he's got a 1 on his record. Whereas Ryan Garcia has proven everybody wrong, let's say. So, no, I've shocked the world, and thanking here and thanking there. Ryan Garcia can go on for another big pay-per-view fight. And I think maybe that's what he's more interested in. He's more interested in that big pay-per-view, that big fame, rather than the titles. Whereas Devon Haney was more about the traditional route, the titles, that kind of thing. So now they still got the belt. Well, you would imagine that there's an immediate rematch. They were already talking about that. But is that necessarily where Ryan Garcia needs to go? Maybe he should go for something else, an even bigger name. It really depends how the numbers work on the pay-per-view and what they can expect to earn on their next fight, if that even makes sense. But for me, Ryan Garcia was the clear winner. I don't see how one judge had 112 each or whatever the score was. But I thought he was a clear winner. I thought the other 2 judges got it absolutely right. Yes, Devon Haney had his moments, but it was clearly a Ryan Garcia show. And fair play to him. As I say, this is one thing I will say about the Ryan Garcia antics before and even post-fight as well a little bit. The thing is, if you keep on playing that part, if you keep on playing that role, then it does affect you psychologically. And actors, right? If you take actors, move away from boxing, actors find this, those method actors that get into the role so much and they adopt that persona. Some actors have had psychological issues afterwards in trying to readjust back to what they once were, what their true nature is. Some never change back. It's what they become a little bit. So, in terms of the way they act, their accents and all that kind of thing. And this could be happening to Ryan Garcia. He's played this role, this crazy role, this loco role, for so long that maybe it's, it is becoming who he is as well. So I'm not really sure which way he goes as well. And also, which other fighters are going to want to entertain entering his circus, entering his world. But in terms of boxing, in terms of a spectacle, great. I thought it was a great fight. Some commentators I think were saying it was the fight of the year and everything. I'm not so sure about that, but it certainly had its highlights. And certainly from I would say from an American point of view, it was their best fight of the year. I'm not sure on a global stage, certainly from UK boxing, it was the fight of the year. I think Wardley Clark have got a good shout for that one, and that was only British title, right? But in terms of that fight from the American audience, yeah, I think it was the best fight of the year so far. We're still in, April, so it's hard to tell. But Devon Haney, I was under the impression that if he lost the fight, even though the title wasn't on the line, that WBC may have the opportunity to strip him of the title, but that wasn't going to be the case. So there was a little bit of uncertainty before the bout. Then it was made clear that, yeah, no, he was going to retain it. Ryan Garcia's, I'm not sure what fine he's going to have to make. Is it $1.5 million? I think it could have been. I'm not sure if that was incorporated the $500,000 bet that he made with Haney that he wouldn't make weight. I mean, it's a bit of a nonsense, really. So from Ryan Garcia's point of view, he needs to sort that out. He needs to make sure that he's coming in on weight, and at least he needs to make sure that he's shown respect to the sport, because all the antics will catch up with him, and it will get found out if he's not really preparing properly. And he even said afterwards, maybe my conditioning wasn't as great. But look, he overcame that with just sheer power and everything. He looked bigger. He looked bigger than Haney as well. So maybe next time he won't be so lucky, or he won't be as successful, let's put it that way. But a great fight from Ryan Garcia. I thought Haney just didn't look at the races a lot of the time, which is really unusual. I think he was just being outboxed, outclassed, outpowered, outmaneuvered. And that early, well, it was a knockdown, but a kind of a rattle in the cage, as it were. I think that really unsettled Haney throughout the rest of the fight. He said it unsettled him, it shocked him more than hurt him, but he was definitely hurt in the later rounds, definitely. But listen, let us know your thoughts on that. But a great fight, great spectacle, and I think Ryan Garcia can only go from strength to strength if he focuses on what he needs to focus on. And I'm not so sure that he wants to go for the title fights. I think he just wants to go for the big money fights. And we've already seen him talk about going into MMA world and all that kind of stuff. So all these big celebrity kind of fights. Let's see what happens there. I would love to see these two back in the ring, but I'd definitely love to see Garcia and Haney fight other 140s in there as well, or even step up to 147. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. But the fights of the weekend, at least, wow, that was down to Devon Haney against Ryan Garcia, and it turned out to be, well, very much a King Garcia night. Catch you again. Bye now.